Stem changing verbs. So far in Spanish 1, you've had regular and some irregular verbs. Stem changing verbs have probably seemed very random and irregular to you, but there is a lot of regularity in how they change and how they function. Typical stem changing verbs have a vowel change in the stem. That's the part of the verb before the AR, ER, IR. So for the verb to understand, entend is the stem. So usually we would take the stem and add the O to it, and that would be your yo form. But you know from your pronunciation words and that is not how you say I understand. So what happens with the stem changes before, where there was the one vowel, and in this case it's going to be the E, there is now going to be two vowels. And that's going to be your new stem all the way through in these forms that are in gray. And you can see it kind of makes a boot shape. And that's why some people call them boot verbs. So they're also known as boot verbs. Outside of the boot, there is no stem change. It uses the original stem. So now we just have to add the endings that you're used to. It's an ER verb, so O, I understand, entiendo. Entiendes, you understand. Entiende, he or she understands, it understands, or you formal understand. You guys understand, they understand. Entienden. And then the one that's outside of the boot, we understand. Entendemos. So as I mentioned already, this stem change takes place in all the forms but the nosotros, or the we form. Here's some other boot verbs. Another E to IE stem changer is the verb querer, to want. So the new stem is going to be quiero. So I want, quiero. Quieres, you want. And you're used to saying this one when you do repaso rápido. ¿Qué quieres? When you ask your compañero what they want, Spanish to English or English to Spanish. Quiere, he or she wants. It wants, or you formal want. Quieren, they want, or you guys want. Outside of the boot, the original stem goes into effect again. Queremos, we want. Jugar is also a stem changing verb. So here's the stem again. The vowel in the stem is going to change from 1 to 2. So jugar is a U to UE stem changer. This is your new stem for jugar. I play, juego. Juegas. Juega. Juegan. You play, he, she, it plays, you formal play, you guys play or they play. Outside of the boot, we go back to the original. Jugamos. We play. And the last verb for now, that's a stem changing verb, is the verb poder, to be able to or can. And poder, the O is going to change to a UE. So our new stem is puede. Puedo. I can, I'm able to. Puedes. You can, you're able to. Puede. He or she can, he or she are able to. It's able to, it can, and you formal can or are able to. Pueden, you guys can, or they can. Outside of that boot shape, we revert back to the original stem, podemos. We can. So going right along with poder, to be able to, and querer, to want to do something, oftentimes you are going to have two verbs that are next to each other in the same clause. If you don't like grammar, think of a clause as like a little mini sentence. So a lot of times sentences have little mini sentences in them that are connected by and or but, and of course a lot of other things. But that's the basic terminology. So when that does happen, you're going to conjugate the first verb. Conjugate, remember, means take off the AR, ER, or IR and add the ending to it to make it mean something. And then leave the second verb in the infinitive. Don't do anything to it. We do the same thing in English. You'll see here. I don't want, so this is conjugated. To go is the second verb and you leave it in the infinitive. So no quiero is the I want form. The no is the don't. No quiero, leave to go in the infinitive. No quiero ir al partido. They can't go to the game. You'll notice here in English we break away from that rule then. And all of a sudden we don't use the infinitive. But it would go like this. Ellos no pueden ir al partido. Pueden is conjugated. Ir is left in the infinitive. Do you need to go to the game? Necesitas, conjugated, ir al partido. So conjugated, leave it in the infinitive, and here's the rest of the sentence.